It's Brazella time. Get Gisela. End step, we're gonna meld. Show me Brazella. There it is. Nice. So, a lot of spot removal probably off the table now.
Today on Commander Replay, it's Tribal Wars time as we check out the updated Angels list and run it into a bunch of dragons, birds, and giants. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 2 new Patreon supporters in Jacob Williams and Nick Dutton. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Aurelia Angels today. Ended up keeping an opening hand that looks like this. It's not my favorite, but it has 2 new cards in it, so I'd really like to get a look at them, and that's Pyre of Heroes and Tobolt's Trickery. This card can get a little wacky. We were playing last night, and someone countered something on turn 4, and that turned into an Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and that was a bit of an issue. But the 1 or 2 other times that I've used it, it's generally been much safer than that, so still trying to get a feel on this card. Overall, I think it's going to be very good to include in your decks, but there is some risk there. It's like that Chaos Warp that occasionally flips into an Avacyn or an Eldrazi or something like that. But more importantly, I'm excited to get this Pyre of Heroes going. I haven't actually played with this card yet. I haven't been playing much tribal stuff the past month or 2 since Kaldheim's come out. So, that's exactly where you want this thing. And hopefully we can just catch a couple lands off the top to smooth out what we're doing. Hopefully we don't get punished for the greedy keep right here, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, looks like we're going last. Don't love it. Don't love it. By the way, this is going to be a Tribal Wars game, so we're playing Angels. DeWubber is playing Karrthus, Tyrant of Jund, going to be some dragons. We got Fish Said Fish piloting some giants. Izzet giants, of all things. Interested to see where this one goes, since a lot of giants do tend to be in white and red. Obviously, they'll have access to the red, not so much the white. This is a newer card, by the way, so we'll give this one a read. It's Aegar the Freezing Flame. 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess damage, if a giant, wizard, or spell you control dealt that damage, draw a card. That's kind of cool. So it's going to allow you to draw cards if you have big trampoly giants and burn spells. Should be pretty cool. And then Mockfire piloting Kangee Sky Warden, the new Kangee, out of Commander Legends. 5 mana, 3/3, Flying Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +2/+0 until end of turn. And whenever it blocks, blocking creatures with flying get +0/+2 until end of turn. Definitely a cool little commander for Bird Tribal. Now, one of the things we found is that the original Kangee is bugged on Magic Online, and you can't pay the kicker, which is a bit of a problem. So this is going to be the safer bet. But in paper, I still think old Kangee is solid, because you can just pump a ton of mana into it. But yeah, we draw not a land off the top. That's not great. We're going to play the Arid Mesa. We'll give it a shuffle. We've got 36 lands in the deck, so shuffling right here will help us find another land. Nothing to do with 1. We could leave up with swords, but I don't think we're going to need a swords in this one. So we'll pass like that. Ooh, Mystic Remora for fish. And we, of course, are playing Aurelia the Warleader. Flying Vigilance Haste, 2 combat steps. We draw a Burnish Heart. Well, if we find a 3rd land, we'll be okay, but I'm starting to get a little nervous. We're going to play the Pyre of Heroes into the Mystic Remora. I would not be upset if someone wheeled. Cultivate for the Dragon's opponent into the Mystic Remora. Mystic Remora putting some work in. Yeah, that's part of the issue, is that there's so many new cards I want to test that, the land count has been dwindling a bit. I know we could have mulliganed, but I really want to see the new cards because I just haven't seen them yet, so if you mulligan, the likelihood of them coming back, maybe, maybe not. So I know it's a bit of a risky keep. Opponent's going to pay for their Mystic Remora. You know what? There's a chance, too, that this Pyre of Heroes is, so strong that even if we get screwed on our next turn here, we might be able to catch up, because there's a really crazy line that we can take with this if things are looking the right way. Basically, we sacrifice this Gisela into a Karmic Guide, sacrifice Karmic Guide into Dawnbreak Reclaimer, Dawnbreak Reclaimer into a Maria Shepherd, and then we get wild. That's an Acroma. That is not the land we were looking for. That is disappointing. Yep, get it started. Pass like that. Ooh, Mox on 1 land. Opponent lets the Mystic Remora go. There's an Ancient Tomb. Oh, jealous. There's a Thrix Sudden Storm. It's an Elemental Giant. Very nice. Gonna give them cost reduction, and their stuff can't be countered. Opponent hits their 2nd land, gets themselves a Thaumatic Compass. That's exactly where you want to be. They still need to find probably a 3rd land, though. Oh, Jessica's Will. Well, that is unfortunate.
Since we will have to, you know what, maybe we just discard this Achroma. Yeah, we'll just discard that Achroma. We just need to find a land. Discard Achroma. So 1 land will put us into Jeska's Will. Jeska's Will put us into good stuff. We could probably, if someone has 6 cards in hand, we could go Burnished Heart, crack Burnished Heart, and then we'll be back in the game. There's a Dragon Broodmother. Those are really strong. You know, I'm just not interested in what that has to offer, so I'm going to Swords that. That card will basically force you into a board wipe because there'll just be so many things on board, and we are not off to a fast start, so being able to defend a bunch of tokens is not going to be great for us right now. Aegar, the Freezing Flame, coming into play. Sending the 4-5 over to the dragons, that's a pretty good idea. So, I've played this Angels deck against dragons a lot, and usually it loses to the dragons deck. Dragons are just much stronger than what the Angels are doing. At least with like the good 5-color Scion of the Ur Dragon and the Ur Dragon. You know, the cost reduction or the tutoring with those decks is crazy, and there's just a lot of different abilities you get from all your dragons, so there's a lot of different ways that deck can beat you, and definitely been down that road. Opponent hits their 3rd land, so they're good to start using the Thaumatic Compass now. We need to hit our 3rd land, and life will be good. It's a tap land, well, that makes it painful. Ugh. Now we gotta hope someone's still on 6 cards next turn. Fish can draw, potentially, so hopefully Mox stays at 6. Crucible of Fire. Should we counter it? We'll wait. It's good. It's definitely good, but it's a permanent. I'd rather save this for like a big spell that's hard to interact with if we can. Our mana is going to get weird, though, because it's turn 6 and we're on 3 lands. Well, we've only had 5 turns, so we're 2 lands behind right now. But that means that we're not going to have, like, loads of excess mana for a while. Also, this is a deck full of Angels. They're all really expensive, so if we can start doing tricks with Burnished Heart, reanimating it a bunch, then we'll be fine. Ooh, Sunbird's Invocation. Can't even counter it. Ooh, that's a card that'll win you a game in a hurry. If we could counter it, I would have countered that, because that card's insane. They're still at 6 cards, though. That'll be good. They're going to hit us with some damage. Got their commander coming in. That'll be 3. Mock does run a lot of control in the blue-white deck, so there's like Hour of Revelation and stuff like that in there. I think we have Hour of Revelation also, and Austere Command, so. Opponent not interested in the Thrix. Gonna terminate the Thrix. Sure. We'll take a hit for 3, go down to 36. If we catch a 4th land, I probably go Solemn Simulacrum first, although getting the 2 lands off Burnished Heart does get us caught up. That does sound pretty attractive. Yeah, opponent can activate the compass. Getting ourselves caught up. It's a Karmic Guide. Well, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. That does mean Jeska's Will on... We'll go Mock. He's got 7 cards in hand. So we get 7 mana. We could go Solemn Simulacrum and then Burnished Heart and then not crack the Burnished Heart, but we run the risk of losing the Burnished Heart by doing that. I think it makes more sense to get the 2 lands because we're already very far behind, so we'll just immediately sack it. What do we need? We've got 1 red. We'll need a 2nd red, actually. So get a 2nd red, get a Plains. There, now we're up to 5 lands. If we catch a land off the top next turn, I think we can get caught up to the turn count. Actually, one we could do 2. We could Karmic Guide the Burnished Heart. Interesting, kind of a slow start this game. It's turn 7 already, and no real mana rocks, no soul rings, no mana crypts. Playing to a nice and slow game pace for us to get caught up as we kept a risky hand. Paid the price a little bit. That's why Jeska's Will has been so good, too. Early in a game, someone usually has 6 or 7 cards in their hand. Ooh, that's a 10-10 Karrthus. Yep, seems good. Who's getting it? Gonna swing at fish. The Sunbird's Invocation is very threatening. Very, very threatening. I've said it a few times. I'll say it again. Games where I've been able to keep Sunbird's Invocation on the battlefield, I think I've won almost every single time. It's just that powerful. Basically, you cast a spell, you get a 2nd spell out of your deck. That's so ridiculously good. Now, if they shoot it, sure, then, anyone's game at that point. But games where it stays in play, you can end those games very quickly. Like 1 big giant right here, and they'll get a 2nd thing. Even if it's just a ramp spell, even if it's a removal spell, it's a fact or fiction. Why not? Sunbird's Invocation. Into a Giant's Grasp. Enters the battlefield. Gain control of target non-land permanent for as long as Giant's Grasp is on the battlefield. They're going to get themselves a Karrthus. Why not? Seems really good against the Dragon's deck. Because now if they play a dragon, it just gets stolen. Oh my, those are some cards. We get to arrange them. You got Jeska's Will, Urza's Incubator. Both are good. Do we go lands, non-lands? Do we give them 1, or... I I'm going to go Jeska's Will, land... Yeah, maybe Jeska's Will all the lands? Urza's Incubator is more damaging over a longer period. Jeska's Will is good, like, one time, I think. Maybe that's not the right split. Yeah, they go for the lands. Play a land. Maybe we were safer going the other way. Maybe Jeska's Will with Sunbirds, probably. Yeah, I think I could have did that better. Jeska's Will, targeting Mock, still 7 cards in hand. They're going to get themselves an Impulse off of the Sunbird's Invocation. Lots of value happening over there. Opponent gets themselves a Calamity Bearer and 2 lands off of the second part of Jeska's Will. That's at this turn, right? So they probably get themselves a Calamity Bearer. Yeah, it's going to be double damage from the Giants. Decides to go for a Borderland Behemoth instead into the Sunbird's Invocation. Yep, this is what I'm talking about. So they've cast 3 spells and gotten 6. Into a Meteor Golem. Oh, that's bad. Hopefully this thing. Yeah, going for that. That thing is crazy. But now we do need a board wipe. There are lots of power worth of Giants on the battlefield. Well, I guess that one's a dragon, but 8 damage from that. He gets +4/+4 for each other giant you control and has trample, so it will continue to get bigger. That's the thing that it'll do. I know what we could do. Make a little deal with... No, we don't have the mana. I think we're a little bit short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. If we had 7 mana, we could play Karmic Guide, get back Burnished Heart, then sacrifice it to the Pyre of Heroes, and then give Mock a creature back. Ooh, that's the Ancient Tomb. Okay. That play is on the table if we want to make it. Play the Ancient Tomb. Our mana count has caught up to the turn count, which is really nice. The other thing we could do... We could get... No, I think I pulled Baneslayer out right at the last second. This is pro-black. That is interesting. Yeah, I think that's the play. Karmic Guide. Get back a Chroma. Sacrifice the Karmic Guide. 2 choices, Angelic Skirmisher and Dawnbreak Reclaimer. We'll get the Dawnbreak Reclaimer. A Chroma trigger at combat. We can choose a creature in opponent's graveyard. It is going to be this bird. Have a bird, Mock. He can give us a creature back. Burnished Heart or Karmic Guide are both good. He's going to give us the Karmic Guide. That'll give us a pro-black blocker and give us back the Burnished Heart. So, Pyre of Heroes looking really sick in this deck because we just went from no creatures in play to 4 creatures in play, and that is really cool. Next turn, it's a Maria Shepherd time. Although we might need to get a Gisela, honestly, because of the dragons and giants, but if a board wipe doesn't happen. We are actually pretty exposed to a board wipe. That would not be ideal. That's something we'll work on for next turn, try to hold up the Fairy's Protection mana if we can. Mock says, have an angel. I said, thanks, have a bird. Dragon's deck says they're flooding a bit. Yep, not a great time for that. There are some threats on board. Oh, we can make Brazella next turn. I know we're supposed to go for a Maria Shepherd, but Brazella sounds awesome. Battle of Frost and Fire deals 4 damage to each non-giant creature. Oh god, that's going to get us real good. Into a Sunbird's Invocation. It'll kill that. There's a Tybalt. Opponents can't gain life. That does impact us. We do have life gain in this deck. Yeah, some stuff getting cleaned off the board. No, the birds go down. We're left with 2 angels. This fortunately has first strike, so it should be at least a little bit scary. Point opponent in the other direction, hopefully. Fall of the Hammer. Ooh, gonna finish up our Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Not ideal. Dawnbreak Reclaimer down. Now what? We have 8 draw. Yeah, that's not the best. Chroma still has first strike. Hopefully that keeps everything away. Opponent sends the 8/8 in our direction. Yeah, we can't block the 8/8 profitably. Gonna have to take that one. We can cast Aurelia, attack, then... Oh, that'll be a lot of damage too. That might actually just kill fish. Then sacrifice Aurelia to get a Maria Shepherd, and if we can find a land in there, to particularly a plains, to bring back Karmic Guide, then we start the whole daisy chain of stuff, and life is going to be awesome. Urza's Incubator. Yep. So just going on the setup turn, hoping that we're going to deal with all the problems. Aurelia will have 6 power the first combat, 9 power the second. Think that's just about lethal on fish. There's Makokoro. Lands are good. Play the Makokoro. Cast Aurelia. Yeah, and then we'll have exactly enough to sacrifice. I think that's the plan. Although, actually, there might be other 7-drops that make more sense. A Chroma trigger. Aurelia gets pumped up. Oh yeah, this is easy lethal on fish. Unless they have something. Combat number 2, they go down to 10. Aurelia goes to a frustrating 9 power, so we do have to send both in their direction. Down goes fish. Wow. Man, searching for the creature you need when you need it is really good. We're going to take a peek at the deck real quick so we can get a 7-drop. Amaria Shepherd is obviously good, but I want to see if there's something else we should be getting. Gisela helps. Chancellor of the Annex helps. That's good if things don't pan out. Because we don't have the land, we have to play the Mokokoro to get enough mana to do the thing, so... I think we're gonna chill and not activate. I wish I held Tibalt's Trickery up, though. Opponent does get themselves the Karrthus back. Because, like, if we go get the thing we need and then they just kill it, that's really bad for us. Again, we don't have the mana for Teferi's Protection or Tibalt's Trickery, so if we could protect the Amaria Shepherd for a turn, then absolutely. We play the Solemn Simulacrum, we get the Burnished Heart, and all the good stuff happens. We might be able to assemble a Chromatron this game. That's a thing that I've been wanting to do. I think we're going to make every effort to try and do that. If we sacrifice this Achroma, we can get another Achroma. If we sacrifice Aurelia, we can get Amaria Shepherd, then bring back Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Well, that's multiple untaps with the Pyre, so we'll see how this goes. But it'll take us a few turns and assume that opponents don't just die from us having lots of flyers. But although, yeah, like I said, Mock does play board wipes. He didn't have one last turn, so he's probably got to draw into it off the top. Yeah, yep, all right. Opponent going to destroy our stuff and give us dragons instead. Where do we want Aurelia to go? Probably back to the command zone, I think, is the best idea. Yeah, that does hurt, actually, quite a bit. That kind of messes up all of our lines of stuff that we were trying to do. Really wish I held up the Tibalt's mana. What is our other 5? I think we have 2 5-drops in the deck, angel-wise. We have Lyra, just Lyra. Lifelink is good. Empyrean Eagle coming in for opponent. Skymark Rock. Whenever it attacks, you may return target creature defending player controls with toughness 2 or less. Fortunately, not too many of our things. There's a Mirror Entity. That's good, okay. Mock looking to make a push right here. Probably want to leave up the Teferi's Protection. Getting set up for next turn. We can play a Solemn Simulacrum, just sacrifice a Solemn Simulacrum. I don't think we can get anything. I don't think there's a second Golem in the deck, but still just the card draw is probably helpful. Particularly if it's a land. They're going to flip the Thaumatic Compass. That's actually pretty good against us. We'll have a much harder time alpha striking in. That's a Magus of the Wheel. That's actually solid. How much mana do we have? We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Let's get the Magus. I'm going to go Magus. I'm going to use the Ancient Tomb right here so we have, like, maximum options with our mana being left up. Ooh, if opponent drops in... Oof. They cast Karrthus and then they take our 4/4s. Seems bad. Might have to pull Trickery that one. There are flyers mounting over there. There's a Mirror Entity so they can get big. There's the Karrthus. Yep, not interested in that. No thanks. Wait, can't be countered? Why can't it be countered? Oh, that's not good. Oh, Cavern of Souls. Yeah, that's bad. Well, they'll get a free thing out of us. Didn't see that! Oh, God. Well, this is going to be a waste. They get a Backdraft Hellkite also. Well, maybe this will force Mock into a board wipe. Since there's about to be a lot of stuff in play. They're also going to gain control of this Mirror Entity. Do we Teferi's now or later? If we do it now, we'll still have the 2 4/4s, and that gives us, like, something to... Because this is also when it attacks. When it enters the battlefield... No, because it's only when it enters the battlefield, so yeah, we're better off having the blockers. It says he has Blades of Velas Vel in hand. He was a mana short of turning these into dragons also. We're going to Teferi's Protect. Peacing out. Yep, gets control of the Mirror Entity. Luckily no mana this turn. Gives all the dragons haste. They can Spires the big one. They can block these other 2. Oh, the Cavern of Souls. Totally didn't see it. It's not a card I run very often, so I just don't think about it that much. It's been so expensive that, like, that's just not a place I'm looking to spend the budget on a deck that I'm building in paper. Hopefully they'll get cheaper with the reprint, but doubtful because of modern play. Sending everything into Mock. If I were him, yeah, Spire's the big one, and I would probably trade this to block with that, although this does get rid of... no, never mind. Ooh, you know what it does do? It bounces that back to their hand. So they're just going to take... Yeah, okay. I'm on board for that. I see what they're doing. Sacrifice this thing to get that back. Yeah, we'd be in such better shape if we left the mana up for Tibalt's Trickery a few turns ago and stopped the Descent of Dragons. We'd be in a great spot right now. That was a whoopsie. Didn't work out the plan to spend our mana properly, is what happened. Although, actually, I don't know that... let's see. White, white, red, red. We actually didn't have enough red mana, never mind. So we wouldn't have been able to leave up Tibalt's in that spot. No board wipe. Coffin down the flyers. Ishai and Kangee coming into play. So yeah, they attack with the Skymark Rock. They bounce the Mirror Entity back to their hand. Skymark Rock is going to get eaten. Well, they can save it if they want to with the Spires. The question is whether they want to or not. They're just going to let it go. Things are pretty big on this board. I don't know that they're going to get tons of value out of it. The Mirror Entity is back to play. There's a Plains. Play the Plains, play the Solemn. Ishai will trigger. Use the ability. Get a Plains. Activate Magus. What do we get? Dousing Dagger, Search for Glory, Oketra's Monument, Akroma's Will. We can only make 3 mana plays. Do we have interaction? No, none that we can cast. Our 2 lands will come in tapped. That's a little awkward. Wow, we have no creatures in hand. Think I'm going to go for Oketra's Monument. Yeah, we're staying put. Angelic Arbiter would actually be a very good pickup if we went and searched for it. We did just give opponents 7 cards, so that's probably something to worry about. Dragon's Horde, Ishai. Ooh, you want to know who's reasonable right here? Bruna. Bruna, we can bring back Gisela, make Brazella. We can bring back Akroma. We can bring back Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Ooh, it's a Glory Bringer. Can't be countered. Probably going to eat some blockers. See what opponent wants to do in combat. Come on our way with the Karrthus. Does it have trample? No trample. Glory Bringer over to Mock. Nope. Doesn't like that one. Ooh. If they attack with that, they can get Terminate, but we both have blockers to eat it. So the question is whether they want to give that up or not. Also the same thing with the Glory Bringer. We both have 4/4s. Yeah, they're going to send it. Backdraft Hellkite. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback equal to its mana cost. It's pretty good. There's a Terminate in there. I imagine we'll be seeing the Terminate. There's Glory Bringer on Kangee. They might terminate that just so they don't lose their stuff. Yeah, there's a Terminate on the Ishai. They can Farseek after that. That's not as dangerous. See if Mock's got interaction. He's got 3 mana up. 1 he probably wants to use on the Spires. He's going to untap the Karrthus. Ishai going down. I'm going to do a chump block. Maybe they've got the board wipe now. I'd be fine with that. If we can get Solemn Simulacrum into the graveyard, that would make me happy. Board wipe would be good. So, didn't take that much damage. Lost most of his stuff, though. And they're going to cast the Sylvan Caryatid. I've been trying to get Backdraft Hellkite to work. It is a weird card. Like, you need to be built around instants and sorceries. You probably need a blue-red deck more than anything. Trying to just jam it into a deck randomly for value, I've had really mixed results with. Obviously, they're in a Dragon's deck, so it makes sense there. But I've tried jamming it just like into Aurelia equipment, and didn't really work in that context. Probably make it work in like a more creature-based version of Aurelia that's got some spells and stuff in it, but a version that ramps, I think, is going to be the big thing. The problem with equipment Aurelia is that the equipments eat up a lot of mana. Moving them and equipping them and stuff like that is a large chunk of the mana you spend, so it's hard to just cast a 5-drop that doesn't do anything immediately, plus requires more mana to cast the spell. Terminate is exiled, which is good, but they could get a Damnation next turn, which would not be ideal. See what Mock's got. He's going to send the Mirror Entity our way. Okay. Block with the Solemn. Mirror Entity goes down. Board wipe. Mana Crypt. Board wipe. Supreme Verdict. Love it. Draw a card. If we can get an untapped land, that's actually a really big deal for us also. Yes. It is not. It is a Starnheim Aspirant. Ooh. I think it's mana neutral for us to cast that Starnheim Aspirant, though, because it's only 2 mana, and then it's going to give us 2 cost reduction on our Angel. They're going to play a Wingmate Rock. Ooh, nice. I see what they're doing. Okay. They get the bird because they had the raid ability. And then Augury Owl, yeah. All right, things are shaping up. Oh, that's a Mana Crypt. That is huge. That is so huge. I want to check on our other 6-drop real quick. It's Angelic Skirmisher. I pulled Adarkar Valkyrie out of the deck, sadly, to try and test some new stuff. There's some things we could do with that. Can we get to Ameria Shepherd this turn? Probably not. Well, let's see. So play the Mana Crypt. Play Search for Glory. This is also a card that looks like it's going to be really good. Oh, we could just cast like Rhea. Rhea's very slow, though. There's a Chroma, Avacyn, Bruna is where I think I want to be. Hall of Hellish Generosity, Lyra, Razia, okay, Rhea. Yeah, I think I'm on this Bruna plan, so get Bruna. So that'll be 6 mana. If we cast this, that'll be 2, and then it'll cost 2. Yeah, love it. Cast the Aspirant, get an Oketra's Monument trigger. Cast Bruna for 4 mana. Nice. Very nice. Bruna trigger, get Karmic Guide. Use the ability. Karmic Guide. Man, I really want to get this Gisela. We should probably get Dawnbreak Reclaimer, but I really want to get Gisela. This happens at the end step, right? Who's got the meld wording on it? At the beginning of your end step, if you could have both of them, it becomes Brazella. Yeah, we should probably just do that. Because I know we could go Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Opponents are going to give us the least good thing. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get Brazella. Because we can protect it also, which is huge. It's 3 CMC or less, right? I haven't had Brazella in a really long time. Your opponents can't cast 3 CMC or less. Okay, we're fine. Yeah. It's Brazella time. Get Gisela. Sadly, all of these lands come in tapped, which is terribly disappointing. We could sacrifice Karmic Guide to go get Angelic Skirmisher. Seems pretty reasonable. Play the Path of Ancestry. Play the Dowsing Dagger. Actually, no, if we play Dowsing Dagger, we can't do that. So yeah, let's do that. Let's use the Pyre of Heroes, sacrifice Karmic Guide, get Angelic Skirmisher, and we've got a Wrecking Force. Do opponents have a board wipe? Angelic Skirmisher trigger. Let's go. Lifelink. No attackers. End step. We're going to meld. Show me Brazella. There it is. Nice. So, you know, a lot of spot removal probably off the table now because of Brazella. Board wipes, still a thing. Opponent said they've never seen it happen. I think it's been like 2 years since I've assembled Brazella. It's been that long. Opponent says the fact that it isn't a giant card assembled on MTGO makes him kind of sad. Break the UI, don't care. Get one of the oversized Brazellas. Probably should, right? I am worried about Mock, though. He does run a lot of removal. Still has 3 cards left. Can draw an extra with this thing if he wants. Opponent's going to draw a card with the Dragon's Horde. Yep. Really wish we had the mana to hold up a Chroma's Will last turn, but hold our breath for this turn, see if we can untap with stuff. What do they have? Karrthus, back to play. Hopefully no dragons. None that I see. Dragon's Horde. This does have First Strike. If you don't remember Brazella's abilities, because you haven't seen it in 2 years like myself, 9/10, Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells with CMC 3 or less. If we grab a Chancellor of the Annex, it's going to be really difficult for opponents to cast stuff because you can't cast cheap things. You can only cast the big stuff, so opponent gets another counter on their Dragon's Horde. Go to combat, Skirmisher trigger. That's already got Lifelink. That actually has all the abilities already. Let's go First Strike then. Really make sure that they don't want to come in. Interesting, we could trade the Aspirant into a Keeper of the Accord. I don't think it's worth doing that, but we could go all the way up to Athalia's Lancers, which, if we wanted to do that, again, multiple untaps needed, but if we wanted to do that, that would probably get us to a Chromatron. See what Mock's got. Holding my breath. Hope for no removal. Kangee back to play. I'm cool with that. You can play all the birds you want right here. Just don't mess with our stuff. Let's go. First Strike. Ooh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could be a Rift. No, it can't be a Rift. They cannot cast a Rift because of Brazella. Love it. Oh, that makes me so happy. I might still plan as if it were anyway, though. See if we can get Tibalt's Trickery back. But Tails, we lost. Lost the flip. There's a mountain. We could cast Aurelia and probably just force our way through a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm going to ham it a little bit and try to get a Chromatron also. We've got a protection spell, which I really like. Probably going to try to get that Tibalt's Trickery back, too. This is just going to die if we send it anywhere. Okay. Be smart about everything. Let's not mess this up. Activate the Pyre of Heroes. Sacrifice the Skirmisher. Get Ameria Shepherd. Play a land. Let's get the Flamekin Village in case we need haste. Ameria Shepherd. Get back Burnished Heart. Return Burnished Heart to our hand. Cast Burnished Heart. Sacrifice the... we doing this yet? I want to be careful about how we spend our mana because we really want to leave up a Chroma's Will. That's mana for a Chroma's Will. That's mana for Burnished Heart. It's going to leave us just a teeny bit short. Okay. I'm going to leave up the maximum number of options. So we're not going to commit to anything yet. We'll just go to combat with the Brazella, try to gain some life back. Attack the Dragons player. They do not have Aspires. Just trying to gain some life. Either they can block or they can take it. I don't really care either way. Just want to gain some life. They're going to block. Fine with me. Got to make sure no one has a Scavenger Grounds. I'm not seeing any. The problem is if someone drops one into play, you can't respond to it. So that goes down. We go back to 24 life. I feel a little bit better about that. Still not quite as high as I want it to be, but we'll make it work. Pass like that. And I know that like we could have gotten a Chroma Vision right there, and that would put, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 extra power on the Brazella, but I just want to be really open about our mana in case something happens. Opponent's going to draw a card with the Dragon's Horde. Opponent says we have achieved peak Angel, and I said, no, it's going to get better. Just you wait. Gonna recast Karrthus. Double check, make sure we don't have dragons. Doesn't look like we do. Okay, so I think I figured out the line that we need to take to get a Chromatron into play. We sacrifice the Burnished Heart, get back Search for Glory by getting a mountain. Then cast Search for Glory, get an Achroma, sacrifice a 7-drop, probably this Ameria Shepherd, to get another Achroma, or we could use this Reanimate to get Karmic Guide, and then get... do we have another 7-drop in the graveyard? The only other 7-drop is the other Achroma. Yeah, that works. We get that Acroma, sacrifice that Acroma, bring it back with Burnish Heart, Aurelia Shepherd. And then we've got a Chromatron. Oh, this is going to be glorious. The Dragons player says, this deck's mana curve is less of a curve and more of a ramp Evil Knievel would drive off of. I know the feeling. Got a deck full of 7 and 8 drops and 9 drops. Oh, that's good. I like that. Mana crypt flip for opponent. Won the flip. Let's see what Mox got. A lot of nothing. I love it. End step. Crack this Burnished Heart. Get a Plains and a Mountain. Aurelia Shepherd triggers twice. Oh god, which one's which? Oh, this is the Mountain one. So get... Where is it? Oh, we can't get Search for Glory back. It's not a permanent. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. What are we getting back then? We can't get our spells back. I'm an idiot. Duh. Magus of the Wheel? Yeah, get back Magus of the Wheel then. Then use the other one to get back Karmic Guide. Send that to the battlefield. Karmic Guide, get the Burnished Heart, get back Magus of the Wheel. Actually, crap. Do the Burnished Heart thing again. 2 planes this time. These are our last 2 planes. So get back Acroma and Burnished Heart just in case. Battlefield. Acroma off the top. Mana Crypt. Karmic Guide. Not gonna pay. Let it go. Tails won the flip. Wheel of Fortune is incredibly helpful. I'm gonna hold off on the land, I think. Play this Magus just in case we need it. Oketras. Let's activate this Pyre first. Sacrificing this Acroma. Get... Oh, is Red Acroma not in here? Red Acroma's not in here. We can't assemble a Chromatron. Oh, I forgot that I pulled it out. This would be the time. No. Well, I guess that being the case then. All right, we need to find a way to reanimate that thing then. How do we do that? We play a Mountain, get it back to hand, go about it that way, I guess. Play a Mountain, get it back to hand. Actually, it's cheaper to get the Karmic Guide back. We'll get the Karmic Guide back. I forgot to check for a Chromatron before the game. Play Karmic Guide. 2 white mana, that is a fantastic rate. Get this Acroma. Cast Aurelia. Who needs haste? That Acroma has haste. This Acroma does not. So we'll give that Acroma haste, I guess. Go to combat. Acroma trigger. Everything gets huge. Send this into the dragons. That into the birds. That into the birds. Pray it's not like an Aetherize or something. Oh, I can't believe I pulled Red Acroma out of the deck. I'm so sad now. We were going to have Brazella and a Chromatron. Oh. Opponent's going to block our Acroma, which means we do need to do this thing. Hope Mock doesn't have something blue that bounces all our stuff. He does not. He goes down. We're going to trample over for some. Boom. There it is. Yeah, Angels. The upgrades to this deck are really good. Pyre of Heroes. What? So let's talk about some of the new stuff that showed up here. One, Jessica's Will bailed us out of a really bad situation early on where we were missing lands. Tobolt's Trickery would have been good if I saw the Cavern of Souls. Pyre of Heroes is very good for this deck because of the reanimation lines. You just get the stuff right back. Where to go? Search for Glory. Really good. You can find the angel you need, at least some of them anyway. In our case, grabbing that Bruna late was super handy, and that's really what rebuilt us, because I don't think we were in the best spot right then. At least we didn't have that much on board anyway. But also, if you're trying to assemble a Chromatron, we got to put Red Acroma back in the deck. She's not there. I wish I noticed. But other things to think about. Doomscar I'm not completely sold on yet. That could be a lot of different board wipes. I'm a fan of Rout and Fumigate, personally. In addition to Our Rev and Austere Command and all that sort of stuff. Other new cards, Keeper of the Accord is obviously very good. Chroma's Will is insane. A little bit mana hungry, but if you have your commander in, you probably win the game. Like, it's either an incredible protection spell or makes you win the game is generally how this thing goes. Oh, Starnheim Aspirin. This is huge. So, you know, dragons have had multiple creatures like this, and now that Angel's got one, we paid white to recast our Karmic Guide, and it was fantastic with the Oketra's Monument in play. Cost reduction is a really big deal, and this is the type of thing, if you catch this early in a hand, you'll be dropping your big Angels super quickly into a game. So really love this pickup. I've noticed we are getting like really dense on 3-drops in the deck, which is like a little awkward, but what can you do? So anyway, yeah, that's some of the new stuff for Angels, and this deck has really been playing super well. It's still a mid-power deck. It's not going to be hyper fast. It's not going to be made for combo metas. That was like a turn 13 win. The strength of this deck is that you can go late for days. Everything just keeps bringing stuff back. You have tons of recursion, and that's a huge strength for the deck. So there's about 5 or 6 cards that I really want in the deck that aren't here. Sunforger is not in the deck right now because I've been trying to make room for so many things. There's a couple Angels. I'd really like Baneslayer Angel for new Achroma because all those abilities make Baneslayer huge, especially if you have 2 combats. There's some life gain stuff that I don't have in here. Safara isn't even in here right now because there just isn't room. Red Achroma's not in here because there isn't room. There's definitely like a few more things at 6. Adarkar Valkyrie's not in here right now because there isn't room. So there's a lot of really good cards that aren't even in the deck because I've just run out of deck slots because there are so many new good cards to put in the deck. Another one, Altar of Dementia, is not in here right now. Like, you can mill yourself like crazy with that and, you know, keep your stuff from getting exiled, which is huge, and fills up your graveyard, so you just reanimate the things you want. Another way to potentially get a Chromatron. Once I finally get the Chromatron Dream, I'll probably cut this Thalia's Lancers. It's in there primarily to do that. But this deck has been playing really well, and it's super fun to play. It is clunky, so you do have to be used to playing a clunky mana curve type deck with something like this. It's not going to be great against someone who has a really efficient, fast, low mana curve deck, so keep that in mind. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipaTX.com. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange.